Did you know that you can dip directly over builder gel? What's up, nail crew? It's Nicole, your fellow nail obsessed DIYer. Today I'm going to teach you how I dip over builder gel. I already have the builder gel finished curing, everything's done on my nails, but it was buff super smooth. So the trick to getting these to last, and I'm showing you now, is first you want to take a hand file like the one I showed, and I use the 100 side, and I rough up the surface of the builder gel. So that's going to give your dip base something to adhere to. And then once you do that, you can wipe all of your nails with dehydrator, or if you don't have dehydrator, you can use like 91% or higher isopropyl alcohol. Then this is the next key to getting your dip to stay over top of builder gel. You want to do a really thin layer of dip base, capping your edges, and let that completely dry. So I've been doing dip with builder gel for like over 4 years now. And sometimes when I first started doing it, my dip would just like peel off and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. So first I figured out that I needed to rough up the surface of the builder gel. And then I realized, okay, that helps some, but not quite. And then the next thing I tried was like making sure it was dehydrated really well. Then after that, I thought, you know what? I bet it's the dip that's not sticking because the surface still, it's just not ideal yet. So I tried doing a thin layer of dip base down over my entire nail, letting it dry, not just like going right in and dipping, letting it totally dry, and then dipping like I normally would. And it was a game changer. So I have been using this method probably for a couple years now. I feel like time kind of has escaped me, like my perception of time. I've been dipping since 2019 and then doing builder gel since 2020. So sometimes my timelines get a little bit jumbled in my head because honestly, I feel like I've been doing it for so long, I can't quite always remember when I started what. What I like to do while my nails are drying then is I just like get all my stuff ready while that first layer of dip base is drying. Since I already did my apex with the builder gel, I don't have to worry about doing an apex with the dip powder. And that's what I love about wearing the builder gel underneath, is that I don't have to worry about like doing too many dip layers. I just do 2 layers of the dip powder and then one of clear. Some things that I like to do when I'm dipping directly over builder gel is I like to cap my edges. Since I'm going to be wearing a dip mani for a lot longer, I want my edges to be capped so everything stays as long as possible. I actually only dip straight over builder gel like this when I'm going on vacation. On a normal basis, I have peel base in between my builder gel and my dip manis because I do a lot of manicures since, I create content, and I have probably at this point over 1,500 dip colors. So they all need love. So I like to do my nails more often. But whenever I go on vacation, or if I just decide, I need a little break from dipping, I want to wear my nails for a while, I want to wear this manicure for a while, I go in and do this method. Because when you're doing this method, you either have to e-file everything off or soak off. Most builder gels, even though they cure hard, are actually considered a soft gel because they soak off. So I haven't actually soaked off my builder gel I haven't soaked off anything in acetone in well over 4 years. I found that it was just like really drying my skin out and irritating it. And then I ended up becoming allergic to acetone anyways. So I've been doing this method of doing builder gel as my base. Before I did builder gel as my base, I did clear dip powder, and that works too for anybody who can't use gels if you don't want to soak in acetone. So you would build your apex with the clear dip powder instead of with builder gel. When you're dipping over builder gel, something else that I noticed is super, super important is keeping your layers really thin. Now, always try to keep my layers really thin, but I feel like it is extra important when you have builder gel down as your base to make sure that your layers are thin, because it's gonna, number one, tend to make your nails look way more bulky since you already have builder gel down if you did thick layers. And you want to make sure that the activator can get all the way down to the bottom of, where the builder gel and your dip base meets, because you want the dip powder to be able to be hardened, because If you don't, then your nails, then your dip powder is just gonna like kind of crumble off. So I try extra careful to keep my dip layers as thin as I possibly can when I'm dipping straight over builder gel. And you see for each layer, I really try to remember to cap my edges. Sometimes I forget because I'm just super forgetful. If you've watched my channel at all, you know that I am super messy and super forgetful. In between each layer of dip powder, you want to brush off the excess powder from your nail before you go and do the next one. That's something else that helps you keep your nails thin. And even though I had builder gel down that I built my apex with, I had 2 layers of the color and then one of clear. My nails were not thick at all. So I've had some people ask questions before on Facebook, or I've seen some people get a little bit heated about like how many dip layers you need to do. Personally, when I was doing just dip on my nails, I could do 6 layers of dip powder and keep it really thin. A lot of that is about like the application. Are you using high quality liquids? Are you using high quality powders? Are you applying your dip liquids thinly? So there's a lot of things you can do when you're dipping your nails that I really try to make sure I talk about like in here, because I want to give everybody all the tips that I possibly can, all the things I've learned over all these years to have the nice nails that you want and have them look the way you want and last as long as you want. If you're looking for your nails to last for a long time, this is a really great way to do it. When I wore this mani for like 2 weeks, and I mean, there was not a drop of lifting anywhere. It was awesome. I could have kept going, but I was back and I like got all of our stuff unpacked kind of from vacation. I was like, yeah, that's it. I need a new color. I actually wore this mani for a wedding and then the beach this summer. And by the time we were home, I needed a change. I am a huge proponent of doing clear dip powder as my last layer, regardless of what kind of dip I'm doing. So whether I'm using a solid, a shimmer, a flake, a glitter, a foil, a combination of those, I always do clear as my last layer if I'm using dip liquids. I know that everybody doesn't do that, but you have to remember, when you're watching content creators do their nails, a lot of them aren't trying to have their nails last very long. They're having their manicures on for one day, maybe two or three. I try to give you as many tips and tricks as I can that make them last, not just like what looks good in a video or a picture. And even though I do my nails a lot, I just love doing clear as my last layer because it helps protect everything. So let's say you're doing a solid and you did 3 layers or you did 2 layers because you built your apex with clear or builder gel and you don't do clear over top. But what could happen is if you buff a little too hard or file a little too hard, you could file through your color, and then all that work that you just did to make your nails look so nice is kind of like you messed it up. I mean, not kind of like you messed up. You kind of wasted and messed up. And I know me, like if I'm spending all this time doing my nails, they better look nice at the end, or at least like as good as I possibly can. I certainly don't want to over buff and over file and go through my color. Now, have I done that before? Absolutely. Even with doing clear over, I sometimes like not paying attention when I e-file around all of my nail edges or like my sidewalls and my cuticle, and I've accidentally filed through color. But when I'm buffing, I don't have to worry about that because I do clear as my last layer. And when you're doing clear, just like when you're doing your colors or whatever you're doing, you want to make sure you brush off the excess. There was another debate recently in a Facebook group I was in, where people were talking about like clear and just saying, oh well, if you just brush off the excess, it's not going to be cloudy anymore. And that's actually not true, because cloudy clear is still going to be cloudy clear. Will it help? Yes. But if you really want to make sure that your colors pop and that like you're gonna have your color look cloudy, you want to definitely make sure that you wear a super clear, crystal clear dip powder as your last layer. I swear by OG Dip Powder's original glass. I'm super picky when it comes to clear. There's literally only 2 clears I use because I don't really care for any of the other ones I've tried. Maybe 3, but for the most part, I stick with 2 of them. I just like when my clear is crystal clear. Oh, and this color that I'm using is called No Ma'am. I absolutely love it. It's this stunning pink, shimmery, chrome looking dip. I know that I often forget to say like what dip I'm using or, say what tools I'm using. If I forget that in a video, just go check the description because I always make sure that I list everything in the description. Now, of course, I could forget something at some point, but I try really hard to make sure that everything I use in the video is in the description. This little bit that I'm using to go around my cuticles is my absolute favorite new bit. The one that I used to use before was super, super sharp, and while it worked great, I cut myself on occasion with it, and I didn't really like that because when I'm doing my nails fast, like I don't want to accidentally cut myself. So I started using this new bit, which I will link in the description, and that just helps me get really clean, nice cuticle lines. The next thing that I do once I finish my buffing, my filing, my shaping, I go around my cuticles and sidewalls with that cuticle bit is I spray my nails down with isopropyl alcohol and wipe them off with just like a paper towel and then give them like a good check. Okay, did like I get all any bumps out? Did I make sure that my shaping looks good? And then I'll go back through and I take isopropyl alcohol again on my nails and I brush it off with a stiff nail brush. It just really helps to make sure that there's no dust or anything left before I go and do my top coating. Whatever brand's dip liquids that you're using, make sure you follow their instructions. That's something else that I tend to see a lot of people like having matte spots on their nails, or they couldn't get their dip liquids to be shiny on top, so they switched to gel, but they really wanted to use the dip liquids. You have to follow the instructions of the dip liquids that you're using. Every single company is going to be a little bit different. Yeah, you might find a couple companies that their dip liquids instructions are the same, but no matter what brand I'm using, like when I try a new brand, I immediately go before I even start my mani and look at their top coating instructions to make sure when it's time to top coat that I do the right timing. Something else that I always do when I'm doing dip liquids, as for top coating, I float my top coat layers and make sure that I cap my edges. Now, if you're sitting here and you're like, okay, I've got this dip powder down, I love it, but I'm really struggling with builder gel, do not worry, I got you. Make sure you check out this next video and I will help you learn how to do builder gel on your natural short nails. Thanks for joining me today, nail crew.